Hi everyone. Um, I'm back recording videos to put on YouTube, and I'm going to be playing Abel's repertoire for black against e4. This is a repertoire that's available on chessable.com, and quite a few people are studying it and using it, and a few of you have said that you're really enjoying playing this repertoire, so the goal will be to test my knowledge of the lines, come up with some familiar middle game structures that you can look at in the video, and if you want to, you can play like I do. And most importantly, to see if there is any holes left that need patching up, and if we do find those, then I will research the line, I'll talk to my coach who is an international master, and I'll add the line to Chessable so that we have a solid repertoire that's covered all grounds. Okay, so we get Grunfield, 1561 from the United States, and we're gonna play 1e4. So this is Abel's repertoire for white, based on 1e4. Next one is knight f3. We got a Sicilian going on here. I'm gonna play the Rossolimo, which is a line recommended by the repertoire on Chessable. And here the move is a4, protecting our bishop. If he wants to take, he can. We'll just take back. You can also play knight to c6 or that, and yeah, it's gonna castle. So far so good. This line is completely out of the Chessable site. Okay, so black usually plays a knight out here, so I don't know if there is a way to exploit this, moving the bishops before the knights here. Maybe with e5 now, maybe there is a way, but I'm not sure. So I might just continue with what I know, which would be rook to e1. So I'm gonna do that just to be safe. Now if he plays a6, I can put my bishop back on f1. So he might want to take at this point. He takes, I'll remove that. I play rook t1 because it's kind of the familiar position that we know from Chessable. In a tournament, I might have considered something else, just because it feels like black is not playing the best moves. I mean, bishop to e7 before knight to f6. Maybe it's fine. Who knows? Okay. Well, this is interesting. My bishop here is not really, not a fan of it. I don't want to play b3 because that blocks my bishop from potentially coming back to f1. I could play h3, gonna take away the g4 square. Sometimes that's useful. I could play c3, trying to play d4. That looks good. I can still bring my bishop back if I want to. At the same time, if he then decides to take my bishop, then it's not quite the way I like it. So if I play c3 and he takes my bishop, I can't play the white pawns on white square strategy anymore. So if he takes that bishop and I take back, usually I want to play d3 and knight to c3 and just keep all my pawns on light squares. It's an interesting dilemma. Pawn to c3 and hope he doesn't take my bishop, or just take his bishop and play d3. But I don't really like that. I don't want to take and let his knight develop with tempo. That's not good. I mean, black's probably at least equal there, and I'm losing advantage. d4 straight away, that could work. Taking advantage of the fact his knight is not out there yet. Maybe just bishop back to f1, moving the bishop again. I think I might go for that. Just see what he does after that, and then I can play c3 and d4. I'm gonna go for that. So now I'm happy to play c3 and then d4. So I'm gonna continue with that. Looks fine. d4 is coming. I'm gonna put a lamp on just to see if it's any better. Look kind of orange. Alright, we'll do that. I'm gonna put the light on. Yeah, that's better. Alright. So it looks like I can just play d4 here. So let's do that. Let's remove the capture. So he doesn't take. Okay. And what about e5? And then if he plays his knight down, I can play knight to d2, and I kind of win a tempo. It's kind of a French structure, but I think my pawn is safe. It looks safe. I'm taking. I could also take on no, I don't want to take on c5. Do I? I'm gonna try this. Because his knight doesn't really want to go back to e8. Yeah, so now I was thinking this should be fine. Because if he takes, his knight has used so many tempos, whereas my knight has used only one tempo, which means that I'm actually gaining tempos on him by trading his high tempo piece for my low tempo piece. So let's see if he takes. And then I'll take back, I don't know what I'll take back with, the bishop I suppose. Alright. I mean, what do I take? He takes back with a knight, doesn't he? If I take, he takes back with a knight. Then I can take on c5. And I've lost my center pawns, but his center pawns are looking kind of weak, maybe? I mean, I don't want to take now because it kind of feels like he's going to get an attack on my king. And then my knight has to move as well, which is not nice. So I'm thinking the correct move here is to take like this. So that's what I'm going to do. Yep. And now I'm thinking of taking on c5. Simply because I don't want him to take and give me an isolated pawn like that. If I take, I can also play b4 and put my bishop in b2. Okay, so I'm thinking b4 now is a good move. Get his bishop away from this powerful diagonal. It does mean my c3 pawn is backward, but maybe I can push it at some point. I'm gonna go for that plan. Don't want to waste too much time. Don't want to lose some time. He should probably just put his bishop back on b6 or b7 or something. Maybe I can play bishop to a3 and then b5 as well. That might be good. Well, let's see what he does first, and then I'll start thinking about my move. His E and D pawns could become a strength if he plays it right, but as it stands, I think they're a weakness. If they start moving, then they'll be a strength, I think. So how can I stop him from moving? I want to see what he does with his bishop first. So he's gonna play a sacrifice. Well, I'm gonna take it because I don't believe him, but he's gonna play queen queen to b6. I have no choice, so well, that's nasty. See what happens. Good for him if he wants to go for it. Bishop for a pawn. I imagine he's going to play queen to b6. Because otherwise I'm just running back and consolidating. Knight to g4 check, king back to g1, queen to b6 check. That is looking bad. Don't want to do that. So if he plays knight to g4 check, maybe I should put my king to g3. Maybe that's queen check. Ooh, it's not looking good, is it?
Check.
So I don't really want to play knight king to g1 because of the queen to b6 check. I'm in big trouble. So I can't block that in any way, can I? And I play king to h1. He has knight to f2 check, winning my queen, and I lose. Right. This is looking ridiculous, but king to g3, queen to c7 check, king to h3, and then it's the same problem. King to e2, king to e2, he has no checks. It does look absolutely hideous, but maybe it's the way. Well, that's gonna be nasty, but I'm gonna play that. Let's see. It'd be quite embarrassing to lose in this fashion. My first game since coming back to recording. I mean, if he can beat me like this, then kudos to him. And it's better to lose like this now than in a tournament. It's funny because in psychology, like the way memories work is um, the more it hurts, so the more emotion is attached to it, the better you remember. So if he beats me like this today, I'm certain to remember, and I'm certain not to lose like this in a real tournament. Which is, in the end, it's what you want. You want to perform well in the tournaments. It is practice after all. So I'm thinking h3 next, just to try and get rid of that knight. Because if that knight goes, I can start hiding my king again. That's what I'm thinking. And if I can hide my king, then I'm winning. So let's see what he comes up with. Okay, he's gonna do that because he can bring his queen to either f2 or e3. So I can't play h3 because that would be checkmate. But I can play probably knight to. I'm thinking knight to d4, and if he takes with a knight, I take with a pawn. He can bring his rook in to check. Ooh, I could just start running away. I mean, maybe king to d3 and then king to c2. It looks bizarre, absolutely bizarre, but maybe it's the way. I mean, how do I stop the queen coming to e3 otherwise? Well, I mean, she can also come to f2. Can't stop both of those things, can I? Well, if I play king to d3, once again, he has knight to f2 check, and I've lost. Incredible. I mean, knight to d4 might be my only chance. Knight to d4, he takes. I take back. He checks with the rook, and I go to d3, and then it looks safe. I'm gonna have to go for that. I don't see another choice. How else can I stop going to e3 and remove this knight that protects e3, but it doesn't protect f2? Is that a problem? Queen to f2. Queen to f2. King to d3. That might work. I mean, if I just play knight to d3, and if he wants to check me on f2, he can. But I'm getting out of it. Right? Am I getting out of it? Okay, so knight to b3, queen check on f2, king to d3. Knight to e2 check. I mean, he can't because he would lose the piece. It looks like it might be possible knight to b3. Okay, so I need to really think about it. I'm gonna be quiet for a second. I'm gonna play knight here. Let's see. I'm running low on time. It looks slightly better than playing knight to b4, I think, so hopefully it's not a mistake. I mean, if he doesn't play queen to f2, I'm probably just gonna play king to d2 and try and run away to the other side. And that also makes room for my queen to come out there. Could be fine. I can also play knight to b5, blocking his queen, feeling a little safer. Okay, knight to b5 looks good before I move my king. If he doesn't play queen to f2. If he plays queen to f2, I have one move. After that, let's see what he comes up with.
Check.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, he might have checkmate if he takes my knight with his rook. Oh, if he takes my knight with his rook, he's taking my queen. Ooh, that's nasty. He might have checkmate. Rook takes knight on f3. Ooh, that is nasty. Okay, he doesn't play that, thank god. I think he had forced checkmate there. Can I play? Well, that's checkmate as well if he brings his pawn there. This is ridiculous. Well, I can play rook to e2 maybe. That gives my king room to run away, I believe. I think he had forced checkmate by taking my knight, but he didn't do that. That's embarrassing. I'm gonna have to look up the line, huh? Oh, well, I can still win this. Rook to e2. If I lose my knight, I lose my knight. I mean, you can't really. Alright, so that. King to c2 looks good to start running away. You might still have something with rook takes on f2. Or maybe not, because then I can just take with a pawn, and I can run away with the king now that my rook is protecting the second rank. The problem before was his queen had basically blocked me of the second rank, but now I've made room, so he does have bishop check as well. I didn't see that, so maybe we should play bishop check. Then I play king to d2. This is a hideous position. I mean, it's a bad advertisement for the repertoire, but I promise you that it doesn't usually go this way. Usually I get very nice playable positions from it, and today somehow it's turned out in a massive attack for black, and I don't know, it sounds, of course in 15 minutes it's hard to find the best continuation. Maybe I went wrong somewhere and maybe it wasn't sound, or maybe I played the wrong move, I don't know. We'll find out after the game, and I promise to add the line to Chessable if there's an improvement, an obvious improvement.
Check.
Okay, it's a check. We got one move, right? Going to d2. Yeah. And now he has to play his queen back somewhere, right? Alright, back there, okay. Hmm. But I was thinking knight to c5, just to kind of, control some of those white squares and block his queen from maybe coming back somehow. Also bishop to d2 maybe. Doesn't look great though. I want to get rid of that bishop. What about knight to h5 straight away? But then he gets the bishop in. Ooh, let's play this. Maybe I can play h3 next. h3 looks good. If he plays queen to d8, because then I can't play knight to h4 like I would want. I mean, d4 might be a good move for him. Or that. And this guy's playing really well, isn't he? Ah, that's annoying. Really frustrating. I can't take. Well, I can take bishop to a3, I suppose. It's just a pawn. So that kind of makes room for me. I thought maybe d4 might have been stronger behind that. Break up the c pawn no matter what. But he didn't play that, so that's good. Knight to c2, rook to b1 maybe. I don't see any checks he has. If he plays a knight back, then I can play h3 again and get rid of one of his pieces attacking me. Okay. Yeah, well, queen to b1, rook to b1. I have 4 minutes left. It's some serious time pressure. I'm gonna play rook to b1. I don't see any obvious tactics, so let's try that. 3 minutes. Okay, I want to just play blitz now. I'm not gonna think about moves too much, because otherwise I'm gonna time out. If he plays queen to a5, maybe rook to b5.
Check.
Really? You got that, do you? That sucks. He's gonna win my bishop, and he's winning then, isn't he? He'll be winning. Bad pawn though, just one pawn left. Well, I can't actually use that checkmate coming up. It is, isn't it? Ah, shit. I can't play king d1, I can't play king. Oh. His rook to e3, the only move. It is, isn't it? Well, knight to f5 as well, but that's terrible. This is depressing. What happened? Knight to g5 takes checkmate. Well, he should be proud because I don't know if he could have played that any better. Destroyed. I mean, am I missing something? Hmm. Maybe I talked too much there. Too little concentration, too much talking. Hmm. Let's just resign and see what I'm doing. And I'm gonna analyze the game. examine. I mean,
Check.
it's probably a better move here than bishop to f1. I'm used to black playing h6 by this point, or I don't know, something. I wasn't sure about playing c3 straight away, because if he takes my bishop then, I just didn't think that was the right thing to do. So it'd be nice to see what the suggestion here is. I mean, knight to c3 could potentially be the move, but once again, then I feel like my bishop's out of place. Maybe d4. I kind of felt like even though I'm moving my bishop twice, it's not really a waste of time though, because it's in a new position and I get to play the game I want to play. So I felt good here. I mean, I didn't think I was doing much wrong. I'm happy here. So let's say in terms of chessable, the opening I think has gone okay so far. I mean, I'll put the computer analysis on in a second and then we'll see. And I felt comfortable even doing this. Just didn't see anything wrong with it. I think that's the right thing to do here. So maybe I feel like seriously I should be fine here, but maybe the move now is something like knight to b3. Just getting my bishop into the game, my c1 bishop. So maybe the mistake is here, maybe the mistake is d4. Still very good of him to see that that sacrifice works out that well. As he was speculating and it paid off, but I have to look at this position and maybe knight to b3 is better, or something else. Because obviously, I don't know, maybe d4 is fine. We'll see.
Check.
And this is not sound, and then I messed up
Check.
somehow. But after he plays knight there, I'm just not sure. I mean, obviously, not taking is out of the question because if I move to h1 and he takes my rook, he's just winning. So that's why I'm saying either b4 was wrong or my move
Check.
after knight to g4 is wrong. Maybe king to g3 is better somehow. It looks like suicide to me. I said king to g1. I didn't think was good because after queen to b6 check, it just looks horrendous. Knight blocks, knight takes. Maybe that was it. Maybe here, this,
Check.
this, and after he takes this. That looks good for white. So maybe that was what I had to do. But what if he goes like this? Well, what if he does this and he just take here? So maybe that was it. I didn't see that. And maybe
Check.
here is where I should have thought a bit more. I think I was just talking too much.
Check.
King to e2 did feel completely wrong. It goes against all my chess instincts and everything I know, but maybe I
Check.
got too scared about going back king to g1, and
Check.
I just kind of thought after this I have to take back with a pawn, and then of course
Check.
this is suicide because of
Check.
this, and I mean, sorry,
Check. Checkmate.
Yeah, so that's what I saw in my head, and I got really like scared of it. But actually, I think if I just play this,
Check.
this, I'm fine. Maybe. Maybe he has this in between move. I mean, still, he can't be winning here, can he? Let's say this. That looks nasty still. I mean, if he's attacking my rook. And okay, let's put the engine on and see where exactly I messed this up so much. How do we do this again? It's been a while. Come on. Now this starts. There we go. Stockfish 5. Okay, so
check,
so the opening. Yeah, I was thinking of this. Is that well, bishop e7 is fine for him. Okay, fair enough. So here my best move is bishop takes in b7 apparently. And after I do this, I'm already black's equalized.
check,
I'll have to look into that and see if I have that as a line chessable. I mean, usually I'm used to that. I'm gonna play something like this. That's not good either. So what if I place this? Then I play this. Yeah, rook e1 is the recommended move. So that's what I'm used to playing. Something like this. Rook to e1 is what maintains a slight advantage. Bishop e7. Instead, he mixed up the order of moves, and apparently bishop takes in d7 became the best move. I'm gonna research this a bit more and see what actually is the best move here. Alright, well anyway, I played this. I mean, obviously the game's equal. It's still a game. And yeah, black has an advantage after this. I had a feeling, but what else can I do? Again, bishop takes in d7 apparently. I wasn't happy with that though. Is there anything else? I wonder. We'll find out. Okay. So apparently black has a small edge. Okay. Okay, yeah, so here we go. So apparently b4 is the blunder. So after I did this, it looks harmless. I didn't really think of a sacrifice here. I will have to in the future. So I have to remember this. Don't try and chase that bishop away when my rook is no longer protecting the f2 pawn, because the sacrifice just becomes a viable option. So if anybody plays this kind of opening from the black side, bishop takes on f2 is actually completely sound and a great move. Very well done to Grunfield for seeing it. Very impressive. Unless he was just speculating and it paid off. Yeah, so after this, the computer says I'm down. Actually, it's not that bad. I mean, just a pawn, apparently, but I guess it becomes
check,
a case of playing very accurately.
check,
Yeah. King to e2 is the best move, so that's what I played. What happens if I play this? Oh, I saw king
check,
to e6, knight to d4, knight takes on d4. What can I do this? Meaning to like,
check,
of course. Okay, so I was right. So my instinct said king to e2, and that was right. All right, so at least I did that right. Yeah, I kind of felt like a mate was coming if I went back to g1, and it was. King to e2, king to d6, king to b3. King to b3 is the best move, huh? Yeah, that's hard to see. So after this, I mean, it's still a game, right? My king is completely out of place. My pieces, my piece coordination is absolutely terrible, but I'm not getting mated. Instead, I did this, and that's mate in 4. King to f2 check. I even thought maybe, yeah, king to
check,
f2 check. Yeah, and then I saw this.
check,
I actually saw this mate. I was saying, is here if I take with the queen, there's plenty of mates. So king takes on f3 is the best move. Knight c2 e5.
check,
I could take and checkmate.
checkmate,
Yeah, I saw that one. Luckily he missed it. So that probably shows he's not using an engine and I have a chance again, but
check,
it still all goes wrong. Well, apparently I had a chance here, so king to d2, yeah. King to e1, right. Instead I did this and he's back in the game. So king to e1 would have solved my problems here. I didn't think of that. Opens up my bishop. Kind of gives my king a bit safer, more comfortable than on d2. Yeah, fair enough. Instead I did this, and I didn't see that, and it's after that, it just looks terrible. After this, yeah.
check,
Alright, well, well played, Grunfield, and I'm gonna research the line a bit more and see if I can post something new on Chessable. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.